Welcome to my channel, BST African Electronic Surgery. We have to fix something on a Sunday, okay? So what we can fix on a Sunday? Obvious, we have to fix a TV. This is a TV. This is a Hisense LCD TV 24-inch model 24V87P. That's the model of this TV. This TV was booked in as no power. So we want to fix this TV. While it's speaking about, someone asked me on the channel, what is the right course that I should undertake in order to have requisite knowledge in electronic repairs. What is the right course? And according to me, you don't need to do any course in order to start fixing things, because what you learn at school is theory, and what we are doing here probably is a different path, because there are people who are coming from college with the IT degrees. Still they come to us, can you fix this for me? Can you fix this for me? Because this comes out of experience over a prolonged period of time. So I don't think you need any course. Even if you do electronic, whatever, electronic engineering, whatever course that you might do, what you learn there is theory, and the practical is something else. So we do have this Hisense 24-inch TV. Let me plug in a charger. Let me plug the AC plugged. Maybe we can see something. Here, check here. Here, the red light for the standby is blinking. It's flashing here. I think you see the flashing. So even if I'm to power on the TV, we do have a switch here. If I would try to power it on, it's not turning on, it's not doing anything. So what can be the problem here? Obvious flashing standby light. It means, according to me, it means something is wrong on the power supply. Either we don't have enough power there. Mostly on the output. I found this problem mostly on the output of the power supply. Well, this some kind of TVs, I don't know this model, but on these small TVs I found some, the logic board is separate from the power supply. So mainly we might be lucky to be like capacitors, some kind of blown up capacitor, pouched capacitor on the output of the power supply, or can be anything. But let's see, let me open this TV and we'll try to find out what is the problem. Okay, I took about 5 minutes to take out the motherboard, and to take out the power supply for the TV, and that's the power supply. Look how nice is this power supply. It's very simple here. Everything is very simple. So how this power supply is working? This is a switching power supply. Here we have the AC in. After the AC we have this fuse. After the fuse, where our power is going. Where is our power going? after the fuse. After the fuse is going, you can see here we have some capacitors and coils to boost the AC. After the coil or inductor, we do have these 4 diodes connected in parallel mode. They are acting as a rectifier, changing AC to DC. After the rectifier, the plus is coming straight to this capacitor. That's the 400 something volts capacitor to filter the voltage. And from there is going on the primary stage of the transformer, which is being switched by this MOSFET. You can see this MOSFET under heatsink. And here we have the driver for the power supply. This one, that's the driver, the optocoupler, and I believe this is the TL431 shunt regulator. Yeah, that's the one. TL431 shunt regulator. And there we have some Scotch diodes here on the output, which are regulating some voltages, and we have some filter capacitors. And can you spot the problem? I think I just mentioned the problem before, as if I was prophesying. Look at these capacitors. These 2 capacitors. That's why this TV is giving a flashing standby light. Why? Because something is wrong on the output. The capacitor, these are some kind of bulged capacitors, and the voltage is fluctuating because here on the output we have 12 volts. This power supply is very smart. We just have 12 volts on the output, and that's all. So these capacitors, they are there to filter voltage on the output, and if they are bulged, it's very possible when you press the power on button, the TV is trying to power on, but because of this bulged capacitor, you can't turn it on. So we have to replace these capacitors. Is there any need to check the fuse? No, I don't think we have to check any fuse here. All what we need to check is to check if the big capacitor has got some power. Three volts, we are safe. Nothing can go wrong here with 3 volts. So let's take down these capacitors. You see, sometimes it's very easy. I wish I could get so many kind of jobs. Just have to replace capacitors and you close the device. Yeah, that's very smart, you know. That's the beauty of electronics. So that one of my subscribers who asked me which course should I do to have adequate knowledge in electronic repairs. Like I said, my answer is 25 volts, 2200 micro. You can see the capacitor. So we need to replace with the same values. What about the other one? Same thing. So you don't need to do any course. All what you need to do is to learn basics and to spend much of your time doing practical things. That's how you learn things faster. And if I'm to choose on all electronic devices a good starting point in repairs, I will say TVs. TV repairs, because everything on TVs is big. Look how big is all these components. You can see this is a transformer, these are capacitors, these are some diodes. But on phones and laptops, yeah, you need a little bit of knowledge there. Of course, the switching power supply is just working the same, but due to tiny components, probably if you want to start with the TV repairs, because everything is simple. Everything is simple on the TVs. It's very simple. So our capacitors, they are out. Hope you can see that these capacitors, they have a bump on top. So capacitors are gone. Let me look for another capacitors. We must be able to find these capacitors. So what did we found? We found 3,300, 3.3 25 volts, and the other one 2.2 25 volts. This is just the same, but this one, the capacitance is higher and voltage is the same. So whenever you are replacing capacitors, the capacitance can be higher or equal to. That's not a problem, but voltage should be the same. Okay, so I'll use these two capacitors here. I don't think we have a secondary problem here. I don't think so. I think all what we need to do is to replace these capacitors. And we'll test the TV. I don't see anything hard in replacing a capacitor. Where's my other capacitor? The capacitor just fall down. So I'll start with this one. Let's replace these capacitors. So our first capacitor is now in place. Let's go on to the second capacitor. Let's do it, the second capacitor. So I don't see anything hard in doing repairs, but whatever knowledge you have to do, you have just do everything to your best. Do everything to your best. So our capacitors are replaced. And what is needed, maybe we can test maybe, or we can't test, I don't know. Let's check the output to see what do we have here. You can see on the screen 12.17 stable. So 100% sure this job is done. So yeah, that was just an easy one for the weekend. So I'll put it all together and we'll come back for testing, final test. Okay, so I just finished putting all the screws again. I took 5 minutes, and now it's now time for testing. Okay, can we test? I think we can. So plug in, and our TV is working fine, you see. You can see the Hisense is working fine. Maybe I just turn it off. Yeah, and the red light is no longer flashing. You can see the red light. So everything is working fine here. So I'll stop this video now.